Hello, this is a demonstration of MIDI madness using Ableton Live. First of all, Ableton. I've got a beat here ready to go, just a house beat at 130. Right, I think for first starters we will create a 1-bar bass groove to make it simple, to show you how to set it up, and then we'll try and make it a bit more interesting. So what you need to do is set up 2 MIDI channels. This MIDI channel here is for MIDI madness, and this MIDI channel is for the synthesizer you wish to control with MIDI madness. So let's put MIDI madness up. Up there. And we'll use, say, the Predator. Now you have to route MIDI madness through into the Predator, which is done like this. On the MIDI on the Predator channel, choose 2 MIDI or whatever MIDI channel your MIDI madness is on. Underneath, choose MIDI madness. Now you have the MIDI being routed from MIDI madness into the Predator. So let's set up MIDI madness. Right, to start with, we're going to make a 1-bar bass groove. Just done like this. First things first, choose the bar length. You have an option of up to 12 bars. 1 bar. Time signature. In most cases this will be 4/4. And key, major or minor. Let's choose C minor. Now you see down here, this is a note weightings selector. If we right click this, we have a choice of all the chords. The chords in mauve are the chords in the key of C minor. So let's choose C minor. Up above appears the note weightings. These are the probabilities of selecting the relevant note. C here is twice as likely to be selected as the D sharp. You can see we have 2 octaves worth to broaden it out. However, for a bass riff, I think we'll keep it down to 1 octave, so we'll bring these down. We'll keep a high C, just for interest there. Now you can see these are the probabilities of the note being selected. Click OK. Now notes, this is exactly what we've just been doing, but obviously on longer bar loops you can introduce different chords along, and therefore they can all be controlled in here. Now next is the octave. This is a probability curve, again, of choosing which octave it will select the notes in. Now as it's a bass riff, we want to keep them all pretty much in the same octave, around sort of the 3rd or 4th octave. So you can bring in the probabilities like this. Just drag them in. Otherwise it will be too hectic. Press shift and you can drag it down. We'll drag it down to about there. Next up is duration. This is quite imperative. This really will define the kind of riff you get. As you can see, you have all the note lengths from semiquaver to breathe, and either side you have the triplet and the dot. So what I've found a good way to start with is, if you want an interesting loop, is to set up the probabilities like this. I have the shortest notes most, and then a kind of diagonal pattern down like this, but as I say, this is completely up to you, and this is where your creativity will come in. And you have a rest option here, which means it will every so often select no note to break up your riff if you want it to. Bring it up a little bit like that. And underneath you have staccato and legato. Again, if you whack it all to legato, every note will play its full length, and obviously the opposite, if you put it staccato, every note will be short and staccato. So set it up as you want. I'm going to set it up like that. Okay, next one is velocity. This is obviously what it says. This is volume basically. It's nice to have a variation in velocities because some synth sounds react differently. The timbre is different to different velocities, which is interesting. But again, do that as you will. And this one at the bottom here is humanize, which will either push or pull the note in and out of time. For dance music or most things, you're going to want to disable this. Okay, now we have a setup. Next thing to do is generate some patterns by clicking go. You can see these blue notes appear here. These are notes. You can click this a million times and you'll never get the same thing twice. So let's drag in into the predator of our riffs and press play. Right, let's choose a bass sound. Oh, it's a bit quiet. As you can see, we've got a bass groove going already. That'll do. But this really is the basics. This is getting a riff going. The fun comes in soon. So let's close that again. Go back to our MIDI madness. Drag in some other riffs. You see the notes here. Getting a groove going. Let's get on the predator. There you go. Let's go back. Do some more riffs. You can drag in from the screen here. I mean, this is the basics. This is, and you'll see the interesting part comes in soon. Like I said, there's a million bass riffs there. Get some sidechain compression maybe on it, get it pumping. Right, now what we want to do is come to the fun part, which is where we get the controllers on the synth randomizing. This is over here.